How are we keeping, guys? It's David here from Doc Fitness, and I just want to show you, like, if you're considering going back to training after a while off, if you haven't trained in months, in a year, or whatever it might be, if you're trying to tone up, get stronger, get fitter, whatever it is, there's just a few basic things that you need to be aware of when you hit the gym back, so you can make sure there's consistent, we'll say, progression and consistency over the long term, which is where the real results lie, because there's no point going at something for 3 or 4 weeks, 5, 6 weeks, and then falling off the wagon again and go back to square one. So, like, how can you set yourself up to kind of succeed in that when you're back in the gym in terms of training? So the first one is proper warm-ups, and kind of what I mean by that is having an effective warm-up system that you can kind of replicate every time you're in the gym. So for example, 5 to 6 minutes of getting some mobility foam rolling style work, so you can get the body ready for the session ahead and kind of work on any restricted areas you might have. Then you're going into like a movement prep style kind of flow, like picking 4 to 6 exercises that, number one, are going to get you ready for that session ahead, or again, they might be working on any like restricted areas you have. And in there as well, you could have activation work with bands, that kind of stuff, getting you ready, getting the muscles firing for the session ahead as well. Number 2 is making sure that you're effectively going through the full range of motion when it comes to exercises. There's too many people kind of bastardizing movements, and they're not going through the full range of stuff, and stuff like squats and push-ups and that kind of stuff, and they're not being taught those basic principles of doing exercise through its full range of motion. When you're confident in that, when you can control that properly, then you can progress with weight over time. And again, look, if this is something you're unsure of and you're just following videos online, yeah, it might get you some place, but this is why I've kind of put down here having a coach. It's a no-brainer really at the end of the day to get onto a proper coach that you can show you what's the fundamentals with breathing, movement quality with movements, and everything else you need to know when it comes to lifting stuff in general. But again, full range of motion and a safe range of motion as well, because let's say, for example, you have a restriction in your ankles, and in order for you to get full depth in the squat, so arse down as deep as you can, we'll say, for example, what's going to happen is to compensate your limited ankle range of motion, something needs to give somewhere, so usually your back is going to round over when you get down to that depth. So again, having a safe range of motion is another key point there as well. But again, you're not going to really be aware of that if you don't know what you're looking for, and if you're wondering why you're getting sore with exercise that sore in a bad way, again, just get onto a coach. Number 3 is a bit of a different one. It's called control in end ranges. And I even find we've to come back with this with a lot of our clients at times, and even my own training as well. For example, are you very, very confident in the bottom of a heavy squat? Can you get a couple of seconds pause there before you come on the ascend back up? Are you confident in the bottom of a push-up, or are you always bouncing out of movements and like pressing movements, rowing movements, that kind of stuff? Are you feeling the muscles working? Are you confident in the end range of that movement? So again, what you might have to do here is just slow things right down. Nice control, getting a mini pause in the bottom end range of exercise. And even if you did that for a week, it'll be better than not doing it and not being aware of it. And again, this is just for long-term progression, because you don't want to be bouncing out of exercises, because you're only looking for injury down the line, and you're just going to hit a wall with your training as well. And then for the last one, I'm going to bring you over to the whiteboard for this one. And again, this is kind of taking the bigger picture in mind. There is no point in the wide earthly world going back into a gym week 1 and absolutely hammering yourself, or doing way too many days for what you're capable of or what you need to do in order to progress, or even the weeks after that. Like, you should be looking to slowly but surely build on things over time. It's the same with nutrition. You don't change things overnight. One small little baby step at a time, and then progress it from there. So for example, you have 2 kind of sinks here. They're both the same thing. You have training, which is a stress in the body. Then you might have other life stresses coming in as well, which people forget about. Like, it all has an impact on you as a whole. Like, coming out of the sink, then you have your recovery, you have your growth, and you have your adaptations, your exercises, so you can come back stronger, more powerful the next week, and you're not going to be sore after them every week, that kind of stuff. But let's just say here, the amount we're putting in is low. We're able to easily recover, easy kind of grow muscle tone, if you like, muscle growth, that kind of stuff. You're easily able to adapt, so you can come back fresh the next week to progress again and do that little bit more. Here though, you're back in the gym week 1, and then you're already just doing way too much. You're absolutely crippled here. So all this kind of out here is going all towards recovery, but there's such limited availability coming out that there's not really that much room to come in. So like within a couple of weeks, you're gonna be hitting the wall, you're not gonna wanna train, you're gonna be demotivated, you're gonna be tired. The weights you might be lifting the week before might feel like a ton the week after, that kind of stuff. So again, this is just leaving kind of progression in the tank, and over time, as the weeks go on, that sink might fill more and more and more. Before then, when you get to around here, maybe it's time to take it back off and reduce your training for a week, and then kind of start back again. So you hopefully you're starting around this range again, and you can build up again. And that essentially is what training is about. So hopefully there's some takeaways there for you. It's just to kind of get a grip with your training over these coming months. Do things nice and slow and controlled, and making sure you do things properly with full range of motion, and not doing too much that you're hammering yourself into the ground you don't need to. Again, start slow, build up slowly, and keep progressing from there. Remain consistent in the gym, and fucking enjoy yourself as well. And if you're unsure of anything, like get on to someone that can actually help you with progressing forward, and that has a track record of proven results as well. So yeah, if you have any friends that might benefit from this video, tag them in the comments below. And if you haven't yet and you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel where all the videos go out, the link for that will be to subscribe in the comments as well. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.